Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Brakaha, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers that do this work in truth and sincerity, that risk their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever, the would-be judges, the tabernacle of David, the 144,000 who are set up to be the new government here on earth under the authority of who the world fraudulently and falsely called JC. Right? His name is Yahushai, sent by his father Yahweh to redeem that which was lost, which were the Israelites that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen nations still, with the appearance of the heathen nations. This is not a black only thing. And to the few Aqua, I mean the sisters that are listening and learning, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And this was a heavy video that was put up by this guy, this Secular Talk. And Salaki, and it's just going to show you that these Babylonians are fed up, and quite frankly, they're fed up with Esau. Esau is fed up with Esau. Okay, and this is going to be a lamb back off a video that was done by the beloved elder bro ICR down in the Charlotte camp. The video was called "Americans are." Americans are brewing civil war, great violence brewing worldwide. You know, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to that brother's videos and be edified daily. Very edifying videos constantly by he and his camp. Brother doing a great job with the brothers down there. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of lamb back off, I'm just rolling off that energy to just keep it going. So this will be a response to that video. And you can see this one. You can go watch this video in its entirety. I'm probably going to play maybe 7 to 10 minutes of it or so. It's pretty heavy. But before I start playing the video, I'm going to read the copyright disclaimer. It's just habit at this point. I've had so many strikes and videos in the past, taken down. And so anyway, copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So let's open with this scripture right here. This is and this is where we are, and this is what Esau is doing. This is the book of Revelation. Six and 4, and it reads, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword." So Esau Edom, from the time that Alexander of Macedon, the Edomite, grandson of great grandson of Amalek. Amalek was a grandson of Esau. Yeah, that's Alexander. So all the people who came, all the pale people that call themselves Caucasian and white are Edomites, not Japheth. Japheth was a melanated people. And they removed Japheth from his land when Alexander took it over. Learn some history. And these Edomites, from the time that Alexander died, have been warring with each other and killing each other, which is hence the reason why they can't. They are a house divided, just the same way that Israel, when we divided, we fell. Esau, his first leg of rulership, coming in for the Grecian and then into the Roman all right, which was that fourth beast, and it fell. But the beast didn't die. That dragon lived, and it was reborn during the Renaissance. And out of the Renaissance came this beast system. And Great Babylon the Great is the head of that. And that beast system is a system of Edomites. And so they've killed everyone and themselves, just like the scripture says. You know, if you leave Esau, if the Lord doesn't come back, you know, there'll be no flesh left to save. Because Esau would like an Edomite planet, but even if he did, they'd still war and kill each other. Eventually, you know, then there'll be blonde hair versus brunette hair. They probably quickly get rid of all the redheads, especially with the rumors of the history of the redheads. But nevertheless, they get rid of them first. They'll just be blondes and brunettes, and then they get rid of them, and then it'll come down to blue eyes and brown eyes. So, I mean, these Edomites just can't, you know. But without any further ado, secular talk.
Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody out there is having a great day so far. In just a second, man, we are getting some chilling warnings from the American people when it comes to the ICE Gestapo thugs. People have had it. They're fed up. They're done with it. And look, you can't say the warnings are not put out. They are put out. So we'll talk about that. We also have Jesse Ventura just absolutely decimated Trump for turning the U.S. into, his words here, third world country. And he flirted potentially running for governor of Minnesota again. As you all know, he was the governor of Minnesota in the past. And he is absolutely furious about the ICE invasion of his beloved state. So we'll talk about that. We also have the Trump regime has gone full mask off. Wait until you see what Tom Homan said. And support for ICE has now plummeted to a record low. I've never seen such low numbers for any law enforcement operation in the entire country. Usually the U.S. American citizens have like a default reverence for law enforcement. Not here at all.
See, and I believe that the problem with that is that Americans, you know, Edomite Americans are seeing that their so-called whiteness isn't helping them anymore. And Edomites are struggling and living paycheck to paycheck. You know, the middle class is almost completely annihilated. You know, the majority of them have lost everything. Many homeless, they're talking about leaving, and, you know, and they're getting fired and laid off, and they're being mistreated. And now they're being shot down and killed in the streets, you know, by law enforcement. And there's a video that I have to find where the sister girl was talking, and it really made sense. She said that, what did she say? She said that Mrs. Good, the chick that got killed up in, I have to find that one. I know I saved it. But she basically stated that the lady, when she intervened, and I don't even really think she intervened. I think she was just pulling out. You know, she wasn't trying to cut them off or anything. But they were saying that what the girl said was that when she got in the way, or when she was in the way, and she made, you know, this ICE agent angry, she forfeited her whiteness. And if you are a so-called white person and you get in between one of these Gestapo, you know, Nazi type, you know, now the IDF is also, you know, inside of good old boy and former IDF Israeli, you know, people inside of ICE, you get in their way, you forfeit your paleness, you forfeit your whiteness. And now your life is not valuable because you went off code. All right. You can't go off code. You must defend whiteness, so-called whiteness, made up whiteness, because it's made up. No matter what, no matter how you feel or think or how wrong they are, you defend whiteness. You get in the way, you get unalived. And so many so-called white people are seeing that, and they're angry. They're very angry.
all, actually. So we'll get to that. And later
Matter
on.
of fact, before I let him continue, another scripture came to mind that I wanted to read and I didn't. And that would be Daniel, because Esau's making all these plans to move forward. But what he doesn't understand is that he's going to fail. He's going to set up his NWO. He's going to launch his digital, system. But the moment that he does, he has a bound that he cannot pass. All right? He never was able to measure the heavens above or the sea below. They haven't even explored the sea, and if you're fragile-minded enough to believe that these people went to the moon and have a base on the moon, when their own science books, tell you that they can't go through the Van Allen belt, then they try to backtrack and say how, well, we can't, but no, there's no but. You can't, human life can't go through the Van Allen belt. And then spiritually, they're supposed to be Christians. If you're a Christian, the moon is a light. It's a sun. It's a night sun. It's a light for the night. All right. So it's a hot planet. You can't land on the sun. You can't land on the moon. All right. So, but anyway, Daniel 4 and 17. This matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men. So this violent, murderous, base man is doing, he's doing what he was made to do, to be the hammer of the earth. And when you're the hammer of the earth, everything and every issue, problem is a nail to you. And now the Lord is breaking his hammer. His hammer is broken. I saw a video where Jake took a hammer, construction worker. Jake's strong as hell, man. And he broke that hammer with his hands. He literally broke it. Okay? And they said he couldn't do it. And he did it. And the Lord is about to break the hammer of the earth, man. All right.
We have Trump saying something which should send a chill down your spine, because this is an emergency 5-alarm fire, red alert type thing here. He's basically hinting at, yes, they're going to try to steal, at the very least, the 2028 election, but potentially even 2026 as well. So you guys know the drill, man. Do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. You can click that bell icon to make sure you get a notification every single time a video drops. You can support the show on Patreon or tip with that thanks button on YouTube. Of course, sign up for Crystal Kylan Friends on Substack. And finally, go sub to Corin's World so you can hang out with us on Monday nights. We're live every Monday night over on that channel, and you don't want to miss it. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right in ski. So let's start with this, and shout out to Jordan Chariton and Status Coup for bringing us this video here. By the way, if you haven't subbed yet, go sub to Status Coup now, because they've been on the ground in Minneapolis throughout the entire ICE invasion, and they've gotten some absolutely incredible videos. So go support real independent media. He's a real one, on the ground reporting. And, it's people like me. I'm in a comfortable studio, and I get to talk about what they actually went in the field to get for us. So let's go ahead and break this down for you here. This is a protester who is completely and utterly fed up, and he gave ICE a piece of his mind. And this is a dark and disturbing warning. Take a look.
With no cause, and murdering people for trying to flee and for obeying a command to leave the area, and then shooting her in the face like that after she drops her kid off at school. We have to show up with guns. We have to. There's no other way around it. I don't care if I don't have a Minnesota carry permit. I'm unarmed right now, but this is the last time I show up to face these guys without a weapon. There's no way. I got shot with a pepper ball 5 minutes after walking in here. I never laid a finger on them. I never raised a hand to them. I've only been using my voice. The time for speaking is over. The time for niceties is over. The time for peace is over. They fired the first shot. It is time to end this shit by any means necessary.
You're talking about, potentially going to a dark place in this country. Do you foresee?
We're there. This is the dark place. This is the dark time. We have people being sent to Salvador.
The prophets of the Lord have been telling you this for quite some time now. It's not coming anymore. It's here. It's here. All right. The currency is collapsing. The banks are buying up and taking all the silver. If you got silver or gold certificates, but you're not holding that silver gold, you don't have shit. You just got a bunch of money that you spent a lot of fiat money on a bunch of gold certificates and silver certificates. You don't have jack. If you don't have that physical gold or silver, you ain't got nothing, man. And right now, the silver brokers are only allowing citizens to buy 1 ounce of silver at a time to prevent people, it's just some shit. You can only buy silver 1 ounce at a time. And why are they doing that? Because the banks are grabbing it up and all the big businesses that use it. Silver is used in components in these phones and computers and all sorts of things. In these weapons, they use, silver to solder different components together and things of that nature. All right. So that's another telltale sign that things are about to get very violent. On top of what this man is saying. That alone, the collapse of the dollar, on top of this.
During concentration camps, we got other countries being raided for their oil. We're in the dark time. There's no way out of this. There's no voting our way out of this. We can't wait till November. There's no waiting to the ballot box. We need to get to the bullet box.
Whoa.
That's the only way. If there was another way, I'd be advocating for it. I've spoken peacefully. I've marched peacefully. I marched without Sharpton. I marched on Washington. I've been peaceful. I've acted peacefully. The time for peace is over. The time for any means necessary is right now.
And why he quoting Malcolm X, and I've wondered, I was like, when is these bitch ass Americans gonna man up? You can't march your way to getting anything from these people. They take everything with the sword. And I'm like, wow, I've been sitting back watching all these riots and things basically since 2011. How people overseas were rioting. I thought the end would come, back then. All right. And like, it's damn, when is America's gonna stop bending over and taking it? I think they've gotten to that point. They don't want to bend over and take it no more. They're actually ready to fight. And for those you who believe, you stay out of that shit. The weapons of our warfare is not carnal. All right? We waiting on the Lord.
This is where I'd talk about what I liked in my first box if I hadn't already been using them since the beginning of the year.
Bitch, nigga, get off.
When I told you guys that this country is becoming radicalized, I meant it. I'm not just talking out of my ass here. I have very personal firsthand experience with all things political. I mean, that's what I do for my job. And it became very clear to me that in this second Trump regime, they were no holds barred. They were just losing their goddamn minds off the reservation, completely unhinged, completely unpredictable, completely insane, overreaching, incredibly brutal. And I told you there would be consequences for that. I told you that
they haven't been honoring the law of the land. But what I found entertaining is that they haven't been acknowledging the law of the land, the constitutional law, for a long time with a lot of things that they've been doing to you American citizens for decades. Okay? But Esau Edom was doing okay. Now they're not. Now he said he's ready to go not to the ballot box, but to the bullet box.
This was not going to end in a pretty place. And the fact of the matter is, they've been warned. They've been warned time and time and time again. And their reaction every single time is to double down and triple down and quadruple down and make every single thing worse. Trump lives by some rules that were laid out for him by a former mafia lawyer, a guy by the name of Roy Cohn. And Roy Cohn said, never, ever, ever admit fault and always go on the offense. And Trump has abided by that for his entire life. Here's the problem. When you're president of the United States of America and your agents are shooting unarmed women in the face and murdering them, for you to double down and triple down and quadruple down and let the American people know there is no way through the normal political channels.
There's no way. And Esau Edom is falling. Matter of fact, I saw a post that asshole who murdered, not killed, there's a difference between killing and murdering. Trayvon Martin, is broken homeless, and which is good. The curses are now falling on Esau, man. You gotta love it. But this is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14, because this is where everyday Americans who didn't want to pick up arms, and as like I said, and when you go watch the brother ICR's video, you had that former Marine chick telling all the women, the people, to go get armed and go learn how to shoot. All right, see, that was that former Marines. That was her advice to her fellow Americans. But 2nd Ezra 15 and 14, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. I can keep yarning. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. A modern day sword is a gun. All right, but they will have machetes and knives and that sort of thing too. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall they stand in their power. So basically your public officials and your law enforcement, they're going to disregard them. Okay. Right now, you got blue states that are organizing their national guards to prepare to fight against ICE, to protect the citizens from being beat up. And, this thing is getting ready to happen, man. Okay? You're literally looking at which is all prophecy. We're reading it. And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So there's going to be no food going to the stores, no supplies. In that video that the brother did, the people were telling you about prepping, about having extra food, and you need to really prepare for these things. And I'm not against you buying some extra stuff. It will be smart, but but don't depend. But don't make that you depend on the Lord, man. You can buy, you could take a spot in your closet and on a shelf and just buy a whole bunch of canned goods and some jarred food, applesauce, and green beans and stuff that can actually sustain you. Extra water, extra toothpaste and extra toilet tissue. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but don't think that that's going to last forever or get you through this. The only thing that's going to get us through this when these days go full blown, because they're here. All right, we're still up and out, moving about and stuff like that, but the lockdowns are coming. The digital currency is coming. All right. Or should I say, let me rephrase that. It's here. It's just going to continue to escalate and get worse.
There is no way through the judicial system.
Yep.
To get this remedied, to fix this, to bring about justice, to have the correct consequences.
Good time to bring up Title 4D. Title 4D is completely unconstitutional, unlawful. All right, it's a foreign treaty, and just that one thing alone, despite how you feel, you got to do this, you got to shut up. It's a foreign treaty, and it is illegal to put an American citizen under a foreign treaty. That one thing, but you know how they defend that now? They simply the judges say that they don't have jurisdiction. That's how they try to avoid it. And so they just go to show you. So they are one way, against you, bend the law to get you trapped up. But then they'll turn around, and say that a judge doesn't have a jurisdiction to reverse it. So a judge doesn't have the jurisdiction to reverse what another judge did unlawfully, unconstitutionally, according to them. When they all, so anyway, the law says that there must be a remedy to everything, and there's no remedy to that. That too also makes it unconstitutional. So these people have been breaking the law and misusing the law against the people. And that's my favorite example for a very long time. Matter of fact, I thought when they had them riots and stuff, why didn't they go, this is how you knew it was all, alphabet organized, BLM and all them and all that mess, Antifa and all that mess, because no one went to the tax places or to Title 4D and burned and destroyed those places. All right. If this thing was real, they would have targeted stuff that really, was really hurting the people, but they didn't.
The message that you are sending is exactly what this guy just said. And you're getting people who have been completely peaceful in their lives.
Let's take that back a little bit.
Here's the problem. When you're president of the United States of America and your agents are shooting unarmed women in the face and murdering them, for you to double down and triple down and quadruple down and let the American people know there is no way through the normal political channels.
Meaning there's no remedy, just what I just said. And he's also exonerating those January 6 guys. And one of them is getting ready to run for office.
There is no way through the judicial system to get this remedied, to fix this, to bring about justice, to have the correct consequences. The message that you are sending is exactly what this guy just said. And you're getting people who have been completely peaceful in their lives. You're getting people who do not want violence in any way, shape, or form. You're getting them to go, holy fucking shit. This is what Malcolm X talked about. How we need to do self-defense to protect ourselves against an oppressive, tyrannical state, which is doing illegal and offensive violence against us. You're getting regular people to open their eyes and realize, no, there is no, hey, fascism is coming.
It's here. That's what he's about to say. As a matter of fact, that made me think of a video that I have. I know I have that one. Let me go to my receipts. Yep, got it. All right. And how the Black Panthers knew who was oppressing them. So I'll just show you. The video can explain itself.
So this is a Black Panther paper from 1970, right? 1970 cost 25 cents. Nothing to flip on the back of it. From 1970, the back. What the back say? What the back say? Now, why would the Black Panthers be talking about that in 1970? Man, we don't care about what's going on over there, man. They got nothing to do with it. Why would they be talking about this? Because the person on the front, you know what he said? He said you should think globally and act locally. And these niggas understood that this arm right here, with this right here, talking about police brutality, they knew, hey, look, right now the status quo. They gonna send a lawman over there, you feel me, to Israel. He gonna perfect all this little policing skills. They gonna send him back to America to beat a nigga head in. So this is a Black
and that's
Panther
exactly what ICE is doing. That's exactly what ICE is. And now it's confirmed that IDF, former Israeli soldiers, are in and participating with ICE operations.
You know, it's fascism is here. It's here right now. And the question is, what do we do about it? What do we do about it? And the fact of the matter is, I think the regime is waiting for literally any single thing they could use to justify and rationalize going full authoritarian and invoking the Insurrection Act.
And I've been saying for quite some time, we are one event away from all-out war in America, from all-out chaos, order ab chaos. And then to reestablish the order, what are they going to do? They're going to implement the MOTB. And the moment that they do, for the moment that they say peace and safety, because even when they're forcefully implementing it, it still won't be peace and safety. But they're going to announce that it is. And the moment that they say it, yeah, this is 2nd Ezra 9. This is where we are. Uproars of the people. 2 Ezra 9:1. And he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people worldwide, that's never happened before. All right, earthquakes, crazy floods, worldwide. Okay? Then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For as all that is made in the world have the beginning and the end is manifest. It's manifest, it's showing itself. It's time. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rekaha Kodash, Kwam Yasharala, and Abba Ball.